Hello children. In our previous sessions, we have learned about integers, their addition, subtraction, and the properties of addition and subtraction of integers. Now we'll move ahead with the multiplication of integers. So in this session, we are going to learn how to multiply integers, then the properties of multiplication of integers such as closure property, commutative property, associative property, multiplicative identity, and the distributive property of multiplication. Multiplication of integers. Now to multiply any two integers, we have to follow certain rules. The first rule says the product of two integers having same sign is the product of their absolute, or I can say the numerical value with a positive sign. Now what does it mean? It means if I multiply any two integers which have same sign, say if both of them they are positive or both of them are negative, then we should multiply the numerical values of the integers and put a positive sign to the answer. Now let's see examples and then it would be clear to you. So see the first example, multiply 2 by 4. So here 2 and 4 both are positive integers. So they are having same sign. We multiply them. 2 4s are 8 and the answer is positive. So if both the numbers are positive, the answer is positive. A positive integer multiplied by a positive integer gives me a positive integer. Now let's take one more example. Now here minus 3 multiplied by minus 5. Here both the integers are negative. So we first multiply the numerical values of the integers. So 3 multiplied by 5 gives me 15 and the answer will be positive. So negative multiplied by negative gives me a positive. So whenever we are multiplying negative to negative, the answer is positive. So when two integers having same sign are multiplied, the answer is always positive. So if I am multiplying two negative integers, the answer will be positive. Now let's look at the other rule. The product of two integers having opposite sign is the product of their absolute or the numerical value with a negative sign. So it says if the integers are having opposite sign, then the answer is negative. So let's see it with the help of example. Here minus 3 multiplied by plus 4. So the signs of two integers are opposite. One is negative, other is positive. Multiply their numerical value. So 3 4s are 12 and the answer will be negative. So negative multiplied by a positive gives me negative integer. Now let's see another example. Here plus 2 multiplied by minus 5. So the two integers they are having opposite sign. We multiply their numerical values. 2 multiplied by 5 gives me 5 and the answer will have a negative sign. So again one positive, other negative number will give me negative answer. So in multiplication of integers, what we have to keep in mind, if both the integers are same, then the answer is positive. So if either both the integers are positive or negative, then the answer will be positive. And if the integers have opposite sign, the answer is always negative. So one positive and other negative integer multiplied together gives me a negative answer. Now let's see the properties of multiplication of integer. The first property is the closure property. The closure property says for any two integers a and b, the product a multiplied by b is always an integer. Which means if I multiply any two integers, the answer will always be an integer. So we can say that the multiplication is closed under integers. So let's see it with the help of few examples. So here I have taken two integers 3 and 5. Both of them, they are positive integer. So the product is plus 15. So it is a positive integer. Now let's see if I multiply 2 with minus 2. So here both the integers, they have opposite sign. So answer is negative. And we multiply the numerical values of the integer. So 2 multiplied by 2 gives me 4. So answer is minus 4, which is a negative integer. So we can see in both the examples, the answer came out to be an integer only. So when we multiply any two integers, the product is always an integer. This is what is the closure property. Now let's move to the next property, which is commutative property of multiplication. This property says for any two integers a and b, the product a multiplied by b is equal to the product b multiplied by a. This means the order of integer does not change the answer of multiplication. The answer will be same irrespective of the order, whether I write a multiplied by b or b multiplied by a. So let's see it with the help of an example. So here I have taken a as 2 and b as minus 3. So if I write a, that is 2 multiplied by b, that is minus 3. So here we can see both have opposite sign. So answer will be negative, and 2 multiplied by 3 gives me 6. So answer is minus 6. Now if I change the order of numbers, minus 3 multiplied by 2, again the answer is minus 6. So we can see even if we change the order of integers, the answer remains same. So there is no change in the answer irrespective of the places of the two integers. So this is what is the commutative property of multiplication. Let's continue with the properties of multiplication. The third property of multiplication is the associative property. The associative property of multiplication says for any three integers a, b, and c, the product a multiplied by the product of b and c is equal to the product of A and B multiplied to C. This means while multiplying any three integers, the grouping of integers doesn't affect the answer. The answer will remain same irrespective of the grouping of the three integers. Whether I group these two integers or I group these two integers together, the product is going to be same. So let's understand this property with an example. So in this example, I have taken A as -2, B as +2 and C as -3. So let's first take the left hand side, A multiplied by B multiplied by C. So here -2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by -3. So first we will multiply these two numbers, the numbers which are in bracket. So 2 multiplied by -3 will give me -6. Now -2 multiplied by -6. Now since both the integers are negative, the answer is positive, because we have just seen if both the integers have same sign, the answer is always positive. So here my answer is a +12. Now let's see the left hand side. Now here I am grouping A and B together and then multiplying it to C. So here -2 multiplied by 2 in bracket, then multiplied to -3. So first we will multiply these two integers which are in bracket. So -2 multiplied by +2. Negative, positive, the answer is negative. It is a -4. -4 multiplied by -3. Here both the integers, they are negative. So answer will be positive. So it is positive 12. So you can see here both the left hand side and RHS have the same answer, that is 12. So we can say that the multiplication is associative. The grouping of integer doesn't change the answer of multiplication. Now let's see the next property, that is multiplicative identity. It says when we multiply 1 to any integer, we get the same integer. This means multiplying 1 to any integer does not change its identity. The answer is same when we multiply any number to 1. See here, -2 multiplied by +1 will give me -2 only. So we say 1 is the multiplicative identity of integer. So multiplication by 1 does not change the integer. That's why we call it as the multiplicative identity. Now let's learn one of the most important properties of multiplication, that is the distributive property of multiplication. So the distributive property of multiplication says for any three integers A, B and C, the product of A and the sum of B and C is equal to the product of A with B added to the product of A with C. Let's see an example so this property would be more clear to you. So in this example, I have taken A as -2, B as +2 and C as -3. So first take the left hand side, A multiplied by B plus C. So here A is -2 multiplied to the product, the sum of 2 and minus 3. So here first let's solve the bracket 2 plus minus 3. So the numbers, they have opposite sign. So we subtract 3 minus 2. The answer is 1 with a negative sign as the bigger number 3 is minus. So now what I am left with? Minus 2 multiplied by minus 1. So here you can see both the integers, they are negative. So negative multiplied to negative gives me positive. So the answer is a positive 2. Now let's see the left hand side. A multiplied by B plus A multiplied by C. So minus 2 multiplied by 2 in bracket added to minus 2 multiplied by minus 3 in brackets. So let's first solve these brackets. So first we'll multiply the numbers in the bracket and then we will add them. So minus 2 multiplied by plus 2. Minus plus, the answer will be negative 4. And here negative, negative. Both the numbers are negative, so answer is plus 6. So we have minus 4 plus 6. Again, one is negative, other is positive. So we have to subtract and put the sign of bigger number. Here the bigger number is 6, which is positive. So the answer is a positive 2. So we can see the left hand side is equals to the right hand side. Both the answers are 2. So we can use distributive property to solve such question in which we have one integer common and it is multiplied to sum of any two numbers. So we can solve it using distributive property. So I hope you have understood the multiplication of integers. Now you can solve these exercises with the help of knowledge which we have gained in all these 3 sessions. So that's all for today's session. Thank you, children.